Welcome everyone to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. For this practice, which is first half Vinyasa Flow, second half Yin and Restorative, you'll want to have 2 blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a pillow. And we're going to continue in the Vinyasa Flow part a bit with our focus on core strength and inversion. And then we'll end in 10 minutes of guided mindful relaxation meditation before we practice Shavasana, so that the Shavasana will be an aftermath of that guided practice. So find a comfortable way to sit, whatever is comfortable for you. You might even prop your pelvis up on any of your props. And take a moment to arrive mentally and physically. That might mean taking a look at your space and just sensing what brings you a sense of calm. Allowing a few deeper breaths, feeling your weight on the surface underneath, literally grounding yourself. So there's a Zen quote that says, don't just do something, sit there. And so what happens when we get caught in the momentum of constant doing? I was raised to always try to be productive, so much so that when I feel I'm not being productive, I actually feel guilty. Many cultures, like here in Los Angeles, measure self-worth based on how busy you can make yourself look, how many things you can check off your list. While productivity has its benefits, overemphasizing its importance in our lives can lead us into a type of suffering that's rooted in the klesha that I mentioned on Wednesday, asmita. Asmita, often defined as over-identifying with the ego mind, over-identifying with what you're doing, being productive, or what label or title you want to be known as. And in this way, we forget our inherent worth, our innate goodness. So when we're caught in the momentum of constantly doing, what is our ability to fully enjoy the present moment as fresh and new? In today's physical yoga, I invite you, even when we're moving the body, even when we're in vinyasa flow, to bring a caring, mindful attention to what's new in the moment. Even though you may have practiced a particular pose many, many, many times before, what's new in the posture in this practice today? And so with that, let's begin. Maybe joining the hands together at the heart, a gesture of union and gratitude. A moment to offer gratitude for anything that strikes you. And so through that awakened heart of gratitude, clarify your intention for your practice of yoga today. Your personal prayer. And as we broaden our perspective of how yoga is not only for our individual benefits, but for the greater whole that we're a part of, I invite you to choose somebody that you might dedicate today's practice to. Let in a deeper breath as you're sitting tall and relaxed. Open the mouth as you exhale. Let's prepare to open the practice chanting Om 3 times. Inhale a little deeper. beginning to use Ujjayi Pranayama, a breath technique that helps to bring calmness and focus to the mind and body. Closing the lips, softly narrow the back of your throat, creating a very gentle whispering sound. Lengthen your inhales and exhales evenly through the nose. Let that whispering sound you're creating be a point of focus to steady your attention in the body and in the present moment. See if you can keep this slow, even rhythm going through much of our vinyasa flow practice. And with that, let's make our way into downward facing dog. Spreading your fingers flat so that your index fingers are pointing straight ahead or slightly turned out. Wrists above, wrists beneath your shoulders, knees a couple inches behind your hips. Tuck your toes, lift your hips back. And spend a few breaths moving your body any way it may need to loosen up. Maybe you pedal your feet a few times in place, warming up your hamstrings and calves. Maybe you shake and nod your head a few times, relaxing your neck. Tuning into that sound and the breath. Wrap your triceps or outer upper arms towards the ground, spreading the shoulder blades as you relax the back of your neck. See that your feet are apart, hips distance, parallel to each other, and bend your knees, lift your sitting bones as high as you can towards your rear wall, lengthening the spine as you draw the shoulder blades up away from your neck. Press your chest towards your shins. And firm in the belly as you press the front tops of your thighs back, sinking the heels towards the earth, even if they don't touch the floor. Now let your body be still as you steady your gaze, your drishti on one spot, tuning into 2 more slow whispering breaths. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bending your knees on emptied breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, entering a forward fold. Still feet apart, parallel. Press your fingertips either on your shins, blocks, or the floor. And as you engage your abdomen, inhale, lengthen your spine forward, parallel to the ground. Half forward folds. Exhale, bow towards your legs. Once more, root down with your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen your crown forward into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. This time, press to your feet. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up to stand, raising your arms overhead as you gently coil your chest up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, slowly join your palms from your crown to your heart center, Padasana. Let's begin sun salutation, C to the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead and gently coil your chest up. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Plant your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to a kneeling lunge, gazing up. As you hold your breath, step into plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhaling, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin in Ashtangasana. Inhaling, slither forward onto your belly, roll the shoulders back in Cobra pose. Exhaling, tuck your toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Press to your feet, inhale, slowly rise, raising the arms in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, trace your palms in prayer from your crown to your heart center. Once more, side 2. Inhale, sweep the arms in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow towards the earth in Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips down. Inhale, step your right knee back, gazing up in Anjaneyasana. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, slowly lower your knees, chest, then chin in Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide forward to the ground. Roll the shoulders back in Cobra. Exhale, lift your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step, right foot forward beside your right thumb, left knee down, gazing up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Rooting down, inhale, rise, lifting your heart towards the sun with gratitude. Join your hands to meet at your heart center. Let's keep flowing now in sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep the arms up, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. This time, press your fingertips on your shins, blocks of the floor, and inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Carefully step to your version of plank, and let's pause there for a few breaths. Now, as you lengthen the neck, gaze on the floor ahead of your thumbs, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Roll your triceps towards the rear wall. Let your hands feel like you're pressing the floor away. Lift the sides of your belly and firm your inner heels back if your legs are straight. Keep this feeling of a flat back, belly engaged, and with a slow exhale, glide forward as far as you can. Then bend your elbows back 90 degrees to hug your side ribs. Pause in Chaturanga Dandasana. Then either lower all the way for Cobra or flip the toes here. Roll the shoulders back to upward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips to downward facing dog. I invite you to still your body this time. Steady your gaze for 3 slow breaths. What feels new in this downward facing dog in this moment? When you've emptied your 3rd exhale, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Rooting down, inhale, rise up. Roll the shoulders back. And exhale, join your hands together at your heart. Now shift your weight to your right foot here. Try to keep your 2 hips leveled in height as you firm them in towards your midline and draw your navel in towards your spine and up towards your heart. Steady your gaze, listen to your breath. As you shift your weight onto your right foot, bend your left knee in front of you, flexing the foot, finding your balance as you balance the height of the hips. Really slow motion, like you're swimming through honey. Step the ball of your left foot to the rear of your mat, passing through Warrior 3. Maybe you pause in Warrior 3 for a few breaths, creating a horizontal line with the center line of your body. When you eventually land the ball of your left foot at the rear of the mat, have your feet hips width apart and parallel. Anchor your tailbone down, slightly lift your frontal hip bones, and then raise your arms up while relaxing the shoulders. As you land your eyes on one focal point, soften your gaze. 2 more breaths, crescent lunge. Turning to your left, Warrior 2, spin the left heel down. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. And as you open your arms wide, gazing just past your right hand. Sense the breath in. Feel the breath out. What do you notice in your body that's different in this time that you're practicing Warrior 2? Let the stillness invite increased awareness. Rotate your right tricep towards the ground. Flip the right palm up. Keep the right knee bent. Inhale, peaceful warrior, side bend towards your rear wall. And exhale, windmill your hands down to plank pose. You might lift the right foot flexed, engaging the core a little more as you exhale to lower through Chaturanga. Both feet on the ground. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you, flexing the foot, square your hips.
So as you look under your belly, see your left knee and toes pointing straight down, not turned out to the left, like you're hugging your hips towards your midline. Now firming in the belly, walk your hands back, standing splits. So as you're bowing towards your right shin, doesn't matter how high you're lifting your left leg, more important that you're keeping your hips leveled. Tack the crease of the right outer hip back. You might play with hugging your right ankle or calf with one or both hands. You might play with kicking up towards handstand, whether or not it happens. Here's a little game I like to play. So you plant the hands flat, a foot in front of your right toes. And then keep the left leg straight up, foot flexed, solidly straight. And then you try to very softly tap your lifted leg with a bottom foot. Tap and come down. Tap and come down. You might try a few times and try to land as softly and quietly as you can, thus engaging your core muscles. When you're done, walk your hands forward and come back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in, bend your knees, look past your fingertips. On empty breath, walk or float to the front of your mats. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Padasana, hands in prayer in mountain pose. So once again, feel your hips hugging your midline as you keep them evenly facing forward, even in height. Draw your navel in towards your spine and up towards your heart, and then steady your gaze and breath. Shift your weight onto your left foot, bend your right knee in front of you, flexing the foot. Naturally, this right hip will want to hike up. Keep drawing the sitting bone down, level your hips. Slow motion, like you're swimming through honey. Extend the right leg back, lengthen the torso forward. Maybe pause a few breaths in Warrior 3 as you're stepping the ball of your right foot to the rear of your mat in a high lunge. Crescent lunge. When you arrive, have your feet your hips distance apart. Direct your tailbone down, slightly lift your frontal hip bones, raising your arms up, relaxing your shoulders down. Turning to your right, Virabhadrasana 2. Spin the right heel down, align your left heel to the arch of your right foot. And as you open your arms, steady your gaze just past your left fingertips. Sensing what's here now to notice in your breathing, your body, your mind. Keep your left knee bent. Rotate the left palm to face up. Inhale, lengthen the spine and side bend towards your rear wall in Peaceful Warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your palms down to plank. Optional to lift the left foot flex as you lower through Chaturanga. Both feet on the ground as you inhale to Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale to Downward Facing Dog. Keeping your hips leveled, flex your right foot and inhale, raise your right leg behind you, lifting from the inseam of the leg. Exhale, walk your hands back, entering standing splits. You might choose to hold your left ankle or calf with one or both arms, or play that little game of kicking up, placing the hands a foot in front of the left toes, keeping the arms straight, the right leg straight, the foot flex and the hips squared. And then as you bend the left knee, trying to lightly tap your lifted leg with your bottom foot. Tap and come down. Tap and come down. Maybe sustaining some hang time where you hover your pelvis right above your shoulders. Maybe not, no expectations. And then when you're done, downward facing dog. Slowing down the breath. Sense your energy right now. Come on down to your knees, and let's prepare for another inversion in dolphin pose. So as you sit on your shins for a moment, extend your arms forward and roll your outer upper arms towards the ground, spreading the shoulder blades apart, draw them down the back. Keep doing those two actions, and as you bend your elbows, let's interlace the fingers. Place your elbows on the ground exactly your shoulders distance apart. Press your outer wrists, forearms, and elbows into the floor to lift energy up so you create more space in the shoulders, space in the neck. Now, if you normally practice headstand and are free of neck issues, you could bring the crown of the head to the floor and prepare for that. Otherwise, dolphin pose, you're not bearing any weight on your head, tuck your toes, engage your abdomen, and then lift the hips like downward dog, press the thighs back. You might walk the toes forward. As you're pressing the chest back towards your shins, try to have your shoulders slightly behind the elbows. You might lift a leg, square the hips, flex the foot, like standing splits, and then switch sides. We're going to practice this one more time. So stay for about 5 breaths in total, and when you're ready to rest, come down to your knees. Rest your forehead on the ground. Relax the arms in any way. Child's pose, Balasana, for 3 deep breaths. Observing your body here.
So take your choice for your last inversion, dolphin, headstand, Shirshasana. Maybe you practice another inversion that is part of your normal routine. Take that for about 5 to 10 breaths on your own, and we'll meet in child's pose.
So unlike postures like legs up the wall or shoulder stand, headstand, dolphin, and even downward facing dog are more energizing type of postures. Headstand itself activates the sympathetic nervous system rather than the relaxation response. You might know also that inversions bring energy towards your crown center, Sahasrara chakra. When energy is flowing in balance there, you feel attunement to your spiritual nature, connection with all-encompassing energy, with life force energy, with universal consciousness. So when you're ready, down to your knees in Balasana for a few deep breaths. And just before we enter the yin part of our practice, let's bring in 2 active back bends. So slither all the way down to your belly to lie face down for bow, Dhanurasana. As you rest your forehead on the ground, slide your knees close together. Then bend your knees and reach back with your hands to catch your inner or outer feet or ankles. Kick your feet into your hands as you press your pubic bone into the floor, while pulling your feet towards you, lifting your knees no wider apart than hips distance. Draw your shoulder heads back, and then lengthen the back of your neck, staying for your count of 5 or more deep breaths. When you're done, release and rest in stillness for 3 breaths. Now for our last back bend, you might choose to practice bow again on your own, 5 or more breaths, or you could flip over onto your back and either practice bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, where you press the feet on the ground and lift the hips up, walk the upper arms under the ribs, maybe clasp the hands, or you might practice upward facing bow if you normally do that. So have your feet hips width apart, parallel to each other. Heels where you could almost touch them with your fingertips, arms by your sides. And then prepare to lift for bridge or upward facing bow. And take it on your own for 5 or more deep breaths before lowering to rest. Remember, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward bow, to keep your elbows no wider than shoulders distance apart. Whether you're on your belly or your back, when you're done, let your body be still, relaxing for 3 breaths. And then slowly make your way up to sit so that we can come up to hands and knees, all fours. And we're going to enter a spinal twist to counter our back bending by opening up the upper back. So you may want to have a block, pillow off to the side near the front of your mat. And as you come to hands and knees, stacking your shoulders over your wrists, step your knees a couple inches behind the hips. Now we're going to thread the right arm under the left bent elbow here. There's a variation of this pose in which you can also open up your inner thigh, and that's where you step your right foot out to the right, sole flat on the floor, the inner arch of the foot in line with the left knee, while threading the right arm under. But if you find that that makes this posture too cumbersome, you could always replace the right knee on the floor. So you might give it a try. As you press down with the left hand, inhale, raise your right arm, broaden your chest and upper back. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left bent elbow and lower the right side of your head all the way down. Now, if your head does not comfortably rest on the ground, grab your block or whatever prop you can use to rest your head on. You're going to be here for about 10 breaths. Let the shoulders slide away from your neck. Try to level the height of your 2 hips. Now imagine breathing into your upper back. Last 2 slow breaths here. And then slowly press back to hands and knees, all fours. Pause there for a couple of breaths. Just notice as your body is unraveling from the twist. Sensations might be shifting. Now, if you stepped your right foot out to the right, I invite you to step the left foot out to the left for balance. Setting up for the second side. Inhale, raise your left arm high. Exhale, thread it underneath your right bent elbow. Lower the left side of your head all the way down. Remember to use a prop if your head doesn't reach the floor. Try to level out your hips so you're not twisting at the lower back, but rather you're twisting at your waistline. Send the shoulders down the back. 10 slow breaths. Tune in. As you're ready, gently rise back to hands and knees. And once again, pause for a couple of breaths and just sense your body here, how it's responding. And then come to sit with your legs in front of you. Let's set up for a seated spinal twist, just a little more to wake up the sides of the core in a relaxing way. So as you're extending your left leg forward, step your right foot on the floor, either in front of your right hip or crossed outside of your left knee, where you might also bend your left knee. Choose the one that allows you to sit comfortably tall, where you're evenly grounding your left and right sitting bones. Place your right hand on the floor behind your pelvis, raise your left arm, and then press into the ground to sit taller as you breathe in. Let your rib cage turn to the right as you breathe out. Lower your left arm either to hold your right leg or to hook your elbow outside of it. As you're lifting up through the back of your neck, back of your skull, gently glide your chin towards the back of your throat like a drawer closing. Broaden your collarbones, find a slight lift at the center of your chest, and then allow about 8 more breaths to just explore what's available in this twist. Scanning your body, notice the muscles in your face. Is there anything you could relax there? Last 2 breaths here. With an exhalation, unwind your spine, but let's cross the right shin forward or on top of the left shin. So you're either sitting cross-legged, and you might also use a folded blanket to sit on if the back tends to round, or you're in double pigeon pose where you're stacking your ankles and your knees. And if so, make sure that you're flexing your feet. You're pressing your big toe mounds out towards the side walls to stabilize your knees. Ground evenly through your sitting bones again, and slightly draw the belly in as you lift through the center of your spine, relaxing the shoulders. Little by little, as you breathe out, hinge forward from your hips, keeping a little lift in the chest with your throat open, shoulders relax. Now you might reach for a stack of blocks to rest your forehead on, or one block, or nothing at all. Find the most easeful way you can be in this posture for the next 10 slow breaths. By resting your awareness on the feeling of the breath, bridge your mind with your body here in the present moment. Sense the end of the next exhalation before you press your fingertips into the ground, and very gently lift your skull, lift your torso too. Stretch your legs out in front, and you might shake them out gently or circle out your feet for a moment.
So in the same way, if you can, as you did on the first side, let's set up for the spinal twist. Keep your right leg forward, step your left foot on the ground, either in front of your left hip or crossed outside of your right knee, where you might also bend your right knee. Place your left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm, and press into the ground as you lengthen up towards the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, begin twisting to your left. Lower your right arm to hold your left leg or hook the elbow outside of it. Allow the breath in to encourage a groundedness and a lift up at the same time through the spine. And with the exhales, feel the belly soften, inviting the twist to deepen. Less effort, more allowing as you explore the depth. 10 more deep breaths. As you empty the next breath, unwind your spine and let's cross the left shin forward or on top of the right shin. So either sitting in Sukhasana or stacking your ankles and knees in double pigeon. And if you're in double pigeon, remember to flex your feet the whole pose. Ground evenly through your sitting bones, and if it helps, you can sit up on prop. Lengthen through the center of your spine, relaxing the shoulders. Keep your heart space broad and feeling slightly buoyant as you keep the throat open. Begin to hinge from your hips, little by little. Maybe placing your forehead on a stack of blocks or one block. Find the most restful way to be in this posture for the next 10 deep breaths. As you're ready, slowly begin to rise up. Extend your legs in front. Feel free to give them any kind of movement. As you check in, sense your breathing. Notice how your body feels. Before we come down onto our backs, I invite you to sit tall, and that might mean crossing the legs or coming into Virasana Hero's pose. And let's practice 3 rounds of clearing, cooling, releasing lion's breath, Simasana Pranayama. So if you're sitting in Hero's pose, you can hold on to your knees here. I'll demonstrate. We're going to take a deep inhale through the nose And then when you're exhaling, you're opening the mouth and eyes wide and sticking out the tongue, releasing any sound that helps to get any sort of stagnant energy moving out, moving through. So here's a demo. So feel free to be silly with it. It's really about release. Okay, 3 lion's breaths. Deep breath in. On your own, twice more. And then maybe rest a hand to your heart center, a hand to your lower belly, and close the eyes after that. Pausing a moment to just notice, what's your energy like right now? Remember, these pranayamas, different ways of regulating our energy, by regulating our breath, are made to create shifts energetically, to tune into subtleties. And as you keep paying attention, please bring a block and a strap with you as you lower onto your back. You can set them aside for a moment. And coming down to your back, start by bending your right knee into your chest. Slide your left leg forward on the ground. Then place the ball of your right foot either into a loop or the center of the strap. Kick into the strap with your right foot flexed, extending your right leg upright. Hold the strap in your right hand. Hold down on the strap so your right shoulder stays on the floor. Give yourself enough slack. Now also flexing your left foot, keep your feet parallel to each other. Place your left palm on the very top of your left thigh and press downward so that you can feel that the back of your 2 hips are evenly grounded. Keep them evenly grounded, and now begin to rotate your right thigh bone externally at your hip, turning out the leg. Then begin to abduct or open the right leg away from your midline, breath by breath, for about 10 breaths. Supta, Uddita Hasta, Parangushtasana. Now you might find that you're able to clasp your right big toe while still resting the shoulders on the ground. Then you can remove the strap and do that instead. Making sure you only open the right leg out to the amount that the back of your 2 hips can evenly ground. Couple last breaths here. Supine, hand to big toe pose. Slowly bring the right leg to center above you. And now hold the strap or your calf with 2 hands. Keep flexing your feet. Keep your feet parallel to each other. Little by little, bend your elbows apart as you gently bring the right leg towards you. Try to keep your right leg straight as you're flexing the front muscle of your right thigh, your quadricep, to support the back muscle of your right thigh, your hamstring. But if your hamstrings feel resistant, you can bend the left knee. 8 more breaths here. Now bending both of your knees, cross your right thigh over your left thigh.
in supine cow face pose. So let your thighs hug each other as much as possible while your feet splay apart. Bring your hands to hold your outer feet, if that's not reachable, your outer shins, if that's not reachable, the backs of your thighs. Ground the back of your pelvis and your shoulders while you splay your feet apart and draw your thighs towards your belly to whatever amount you can. Slow, even breaths. Is there a predominant sensation nudging at your attention in your body here? If so, I invite you to bring loving awareness to that part by imagining you're breathing into that part of your body. Couple last breaths. Uncross your legs. Stretch your legs both on the floor. Raise your arms overhead. Get really long through both ends of your body. Let's bend the left knee into the chest. Step the ball of your left foot into the loop or center of your strap. And if you know that you can clasp the big toe here while keeping your shoulders evenly on the ground, bring the left arm inside the leg to do that. Use your right hand to press the top of your right thigh down. Flex both of your feet as you extend the left leg upright. Keep your feet parallel to each other to start. And then from your left hip socket, externally rotate your left thigh. Pointing the left knee and toes towards your left wall, begin to abduct or move away the left leg from your midline. 10 breaths. Making sure you only go as far as that the back of your right hip can stay on the floor. On your next in-breath, slowly raise your left leg upright towards center. And this time hold the strap with 2 hands or hold your calf with 2 hands. Keep your left leg straight, your feet flexed and parallel to each other as you bend the elbows apart, drawing the left leg in towards you. Flex the front muscle of your left thigh without locking the knee. If your hamstring feels resistant, you could bend your right knee. About 7 more breaths here. And then bend both knees, cross your left thigh over your right thigh for Supta Gomukhasana, supine cow face pose. Splay the feet apart, catch your outer feet, shins, or backs of your thighs. Ground the back of your pelvis and shoulders. Splaying your feet apart, draw your thighs towards you. Does anything feel different on this side of this pose? One more full breath. And then once again, uncross your legs to the floor, raise your arms overhead, get long through both ends of your body. Then step your feet on the ground, take the block that's beside you and lift your hips, slide the block widest width across your sacrum under the flat part of your lower back. Make sure that it's stably and comfortably supporting your weight so that you could raise your legs both straight up. You might rest your palms face down on your belly to feel grounding. Let's breathe into the belly as we practice box breathing here. Samavriti pranayama, helping to calm our nervous systems more deeply and to bring clarity of mind. So as you close your lips, I'll count to 4 as we inhale. Hold the breath in, a count of 4. Exhale, a count of 4. And hold the breath out, a count of 4. That's one cycle. Let's practice 2 cycles together and then 3 cycles on your own. When you're holding the breath, make sure to relax your body. Prepare to begin by emptying this breath. Into the belly, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going, 3 more cycles. Taking your time to finish. When you do, consciously let go of controlling the breath. Gently step your feet onto the ground. Removing the block, slowly lower your pelvis and draw your bent knees into your chest, maybe softly rocking. You might splay the thighs and happy baby. Take another minute for any last easy posture or gentle movement before you place your body into corpse pose. Be intentional with placing your body in a very comfortable position, because remember, as I mentioned at the start, our guided mindful relaxation meditation will be practiced before Shavasana in the position of corpse pose, lying down. If you'd like some support for your lower back, you can take your pillow or roll up a blanket and place it across your mat under the backs of your knees like this. You might put a weighted pillow or blanket on top of your pelvis and belly to feel grounding support. You might cover your eyes with your strap or something gentle.
Make any last little adjustments so that your whole body can be at ease and your awareness can feel expansive. Let the eyes close. Remembering the Zen quote we started with, don't just do something, sit there. This guided mindful relaxation meditation is to practice the art of being, pausing the momentum of constant doing. As your body finds a comfortable, resting stillness, I invite you to gently rest your awareness on the sensations of the breath. Allow a slow breath to expand into your body. Easefully let the breath out. This time, receive the in-breath for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, let the breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the breath out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now relax any doing with the breath. Sense its natural pace and flow. Let's bring friendly, caring attention to different parts of your body. Begin by feeling the weight of your body on the surface below it. Feel your body become so relaxed that it loosely leans into the earth's support. Let your skull be heavy as your neck lets go of any doing. Soften your throat, your jaw, your tongue. Relax your eyes, your forehead, your ears. Let your shoulders sink towards the ground, exposing an open heart space. Allow your arms to be completely free from doing anything. Soften your hands. Now feel the weight of your torso on the surface below it. Sense your chest open as it naturally receives the breath. Let your belly be soft. Relax your pelvic floor, your glutes, your thighs. Let your legs just be, fully submitting to gravity. Sense the muscles in your legs letting go of any contraction Feel the weight of your feet resting easily. Soften the soles of your feet. As your body lies here, feel its energy as a whole. Sense your ability to hold loving space for your body to just be. And for your mind to rest in loving awareness. Like a coming home to yourself. Resting your whole being in the energy of loving awareness. Shavasana. Let your body remain still, your eyes closed, as you once again scan your awareness throughout your body, noticing what's there to notice now. Little by little, gently begin to move your body slowly out of stillness, wiggling your fingers, softly turning your head, easing into a simple stretch. Gradually turn over onto your right side, resting your head. Pausing a few moments to bring awareness to the breath, letting its natural flow reveal how you're feeling energetically. As you feel ready, root into the earth and rise into a comfortable seat. Bringing closure to our practice together, you might join your palms in prayer at the heart. Choosing something you'd like to offer gratitude for. As well as thanking yourself. For committing to your connection to your inner being and your greatest well-being. Then remind yourself of what your intention was for showing up today. Remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And together, let's join in 3 chants of Om. Inhaling. Bowing in, honoring the light within. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.